Well, welcome everybody to our Lightboard session. I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm excited about the Lightboard technology, and we're just trying to kind of get the word out now to let everybody know they can sign up to use it.
Everything got silent, Mark.
Let me unmute. That would work. I don't know how it muted me, but it just did it automatically. But welcome to our Lightboard training session. I want to thank everybody for coming. Uh, one of the great things about this technology is its simplicity. So I'm not going to keep you guys for an hour, but I'm going to show you some cool things about it. We're going to push the Lightboard technology to get it out there for the next few months. So I hope everybody will at least sign up for a practice session and go ahead and test it out. One thing I'll mention about this Lightboard technology, if anybody doesn't know what a Lightboard is, we'll get to some demonstrations and videos. But basically, it's a big plexiglass dry erase board that you stare through at a camera, so it records a video of you doing whatever you would, like a lecture with a dry erase board. But the real beauty of our setup is not the actual Lightboard itself, it's the Lightboard studio that we've set up. The problem we always have, we can buy technology, but instructors are very busy, especially if you're teaching lots of classes. And so how do you have time to make these videos? The beauty of the Lightboard Studio is everything's automated. All you have to do is come in, you hit one button to start the entire studio, plug in a flash drive, hit the record button, do your thing, the usual dry erase, give a lecture, then erase the board, click the stop button, grab your flash drive out, and hit the off button on the way out the door. So that's the real beauty of this. It's just super easy to use, so it requires very little overhead for an instructor. No, having to set up equipment, having to do multiple takes, all these kind of things. So it makes it quick. So I'm going to share my screen so I can show you guys a video that we kind of made to demonstrate this before we go into more detail. One thing I might add, if you remember nothing else about this session, if you go into the DEIR course that all of our instructors are enrolled in, you'll see this link. Oh, let me share my screen first. That might help. I want to show you guys something. All right, you guys should see my screen. So every instructor here is enrolled in our DEIR course, Distance Education Instructor Resources. So if you go in here into the course, you'll see we have a link, Book the Lightroom. All you have to do is click that link, choose Lightroom reservation, and then you'll see available times down here so you can select. One thing I'd suggest is I'd probably want to book it for 2 to 3 hours at a time. You might need more than 1 hour, unless you're kind of skilled and know exactly what you want to get done and do it. Now, just remember how to go to DEIR and book the Lightroom here. After that, when you come meet us, we could give you a tutorial, talk to you, and give you the lowdown on that. But I want to show you now a video we have that was put together by Reginald and Caleb, our two new associates at Distance Ed. So again, a special shout out to Caleb and Reginald. Reginald developed the intro, and Caleb edited that video. So the great thing about this technology is that's about it. That's the simplicity of the Lightboard room. So it doesn't take very much time at all. Yeah, Charles, it automatically reverses the writing. There's some kind of hardware magic. If you were standing in the same room with somebody on the other side of the Lightboard, the writing would appear reversed. But in this case, the writing appears perfectly normal. Going back to this Lightboard room, it's in the building 600 right now in room 619. When you book a meeting with us, and you can show up at the distance ed office whenever your appointment time is, we'll walk you over to 619, open the door for you. We actually lock the door behind you, so when you leave, the door will lock. So you're in there. We're happy to kind of give you a 5-10 minute tutorial before you start, review anything you like. But again, as you come in, there's just this remote on the cabinet right next to the door that turns everything on and everything off when you leave. The light boards, which you'll be standing behind. The one thing I wanted to pull up this video and note is this confidence monitor and the notes monitor. Now you're actually looking through the plexiglass dry erase board, and you want to be looking at the confidence monitor usually the entire time, or your notes monitor at the bottom. The confidence monitor is exactly what the students are going to see in your recorded video. The notes monitor, they're not going to be able to see, but this is the place where if you wanted to put some notes or an outline of what you're talking about or anything to get ready before you put it on the confidence monitor. The room that you'll be in is set up with a computer. If you ever used a computer with multiple displays, this is exactly what it's like. You can drag something from the computer monitor to the notes monitor, and then you can drag it up to the confidence monitor. And again, the students only see what's on the confidence monitor. And the notes monitors for whatever you want to place on there. One thing I'll mention about this one-touch recording device, you do have to look closely to make sure the light pulses. Give it about 5 seconds and it should start pulsing, and you can press that button. And I'll give a special thanks to Sarika Prasad. She's actually used the room quite a bit. Her and Vicki Vanderbilt have kind of given it the test that we needed to make sure everything was working correctly for everyone. So they've actually filmed several videos in there, and we've kind of learned a lot from them and what they've done. This is a great board for just about anything you can think of, whether it's worked example problems in math, network subnetting, anything you can describe. You can see in this video where she's actually pulled up a diagram. She is actually in presentation mode from PowerPoint. So this is her PowerPoint. One thing you'll need to know is whenever you want to do a PowerPoint like this, the background doesn't need to be black. So anything that's black that you pull up to the confidence monitor is going to be faded out. So that's why she can actually write on her PowerPoint, is because the background was black and it faded out. She's using a special design, so if she actually tried to write at the very top where you see the red and the blue decoration, that wouldn't appear. So she has to kind of write below the decoration. You can get around this by just using a PowerPoint with a solid black background. And after the session, I've got some templates for you that I can provide that are PowerPoint templates already set up for a solid black background, white writing. One thing I'll also mention, if you're designing your PowerPoint, you want to keep in mind that you might want to put, unlike a PowerPoint in class where you're kind of balancing and centering things out, you might want to move your diagrams kind of to one side so it gives you a spot to stand on one side and write. Another thing to note, wearing dark clothing is always a good idea. This is a view from behind the light board. And this is just a simple diagram. You'll be between the backdrop and the light board here. You're staring through this plexiglass to this confidence monitor and the notes monitor here. They couldn't have made it more easy with this. You put the flash drive in, push the button to record it. It's automatically going to be saved to your thing. One thing I'll mention here, it might take a little practice to get used to erasing the dry erase board. It's a little greasier than a normal dry erase board, but we have some foaming glass cleaner in there and paper towels. Then you can spray it, wipe it down, and then usually take a dry paper towel and to dry it off. And when you're done, you want to power it off by just clicking the off button. It powers down the whole studio. And then you walk out the door, you just shut the door and make sure it locks behind you. Here's another video Sarika has made. Again, she has a decoration on PowerPoint, which is what you see in the top of the PowerPoint, and it's kind of centered. Again, if you like that, that's fine, and if you don't want that, you can just use the solid black background. She's using an image here that was originally a white background with black writing. And so what she did was just invert colors. It's pretty easy to invert colors. We can do it with Snagit, Microsoft Paint, or websites. And so she just inverted the colors, so her image now has a black background, which means it fades out. And because it fades out, that's why you can see her writing and motioning to things out there. And if anybody ever needs help with inverting colors or things like that, or help with the diagrams, we can help you with that. One thing you might want to test out is see which markers work best for you. We have two types of markers there. We have Quartet neon markers, and we've got the Expo neon fluorescent markers. So what we found is if you want the markers to show up amazingly well, the Quartet markers show up the absolute best. But they require very vigorous shaking and a certain pressure when you're writing on the board. If you just want ease of use, we have Expo neon markers, and those you just pick up and grab just like a regular dry erase marker. And I'll show you another video. Besides for instructional content, here's a sample for Vicky. And I fast forward through this. But this is just demonstration not only for instructional content, but if you ever had to do a meeting for a remote pre-recorded video for any reason, you can do that. We're also working on making it so you can do a live Zoom, WebEx, or Collaborate session from the room. Right now we're just using it for pre-recorded videos. But again, the beauty of this is the absolute just simplicity for the instructor. Very little overhead. And if we have time, we're actually working with instructors to help out. We can kind of go in and help you out with a little bit of the editing to erase things. I'm going to pull up these PowerPoint templates I mentioned. So I'll provide this. All this is a widescreen PowerPoint template that's already set to a solid black background and white text for you. So widescreen is going to fill the screen. I also have one set to standard, but if you do standard, it's not going to fill the screen when you're in the Lightboard room, but you can just have some space on the side. So some people would like the standard, some people would like the widescreen. We purchased this from Revolution Lightboards. Revolution Lightboards is a company that sells these studio packages, and they have lots of resources. But this is a PowerPoint that they developed. And so I wanted to kind of go through and show like a template they had. So for like anatomy, again, lots of diagrams. You just want to make sure you're using images or diagrams that have a black background if you want to write the actual image itself. If you're just drawing like arrows to the image, that's fine. You can use something with other background. And this is just a sampling of different kind of diagrams and subject matter that you might have. And for programming, let's see, chemistry. So all kinds of things you can do with this. And we can help out people if they have any questions about graphics, or if some existing things they need to convert, show up on the Lightboard. All right. I developed a little quick start guide. Here, I'll open it up. So on this quick start guide, we'll send it out. But basically, it's a review of the things we already mentioned. You want to schedule your time slot using that link we showed you in DAIR. Come to our office when it's time for your appointment. We'll walk you over, unlock the door for you. And then you just press the on button, insert the flash drive, press record, and do your thing. Give the lecture, do the dry erase. When you're finished, you can press the record button to stop the recording. Wait about 5 seconds, take your flash drive out, then walk out the door and press off, and it turns off the entire studio for you. And so that's not it. And that was the beauty of this. Usually when we purchase technology, we have a hard time getting people to use it because instructors are busy. And if you're busy, you don't have time for a lot of overhead. So the Lightboard's beauty is the quickness, the low overhead, about the time it would take you to give a lecture after you kind of experienced a little bit practiced with it. Another guide I have here is quick tips. We can send this out to you. Now, a few tips I kind of mentioned going over that. One, I would suggest go ahead and just schedule a session to play the Lightboard. You don't even have to have a video in mind. Just schedule a session. We can give you a tour, show you how to use it, even though it's pretty self-explanatory, and just give you some time to play with it. Again, I mentioned the Quartet neon markers and Expo neon markers. You don't have to bring any supplies to the room. Distance Ed supplies all the markers you need, cleaning cloths, paper towels, the glass cleaner. So all you have to do is show up. One suggestion is to wear dark clothing. If you do this and you accidentally stand behind your writing, it just helps it show up. Always suggest you do an initial test recording, make sure everything's working fine. Again, remember to watch the confidence monitor. That's the monitor that you're going to be staring through the plexiglass at. And it does take a few minutes to kind of get used to it because it's almost like a weatherman. So when you drag a graphic to the confidence monitor, the graphic itself doesn't show up on the Lightboard. So like a weatherman, you're actually looking at the graphic on the confidence monitor while you're drawing an arrow to it or circling something on that image. One suggestion I'd also have, when you start, what you can do is draw a little dashed line around barely where the camera can't see it. And so as you're doing the lecture, you're making sure you're writing on the board inside the camera frame. Another suggestion we kind of learned for quick tips, you might want to record short videos. You can just record a short video, like one slide or one worked problem, then just turn the video off. Don't take your flash drive out. You leave the flash drive in. Then you can erase it. And then you're ready to go again, hit the record button, and it starts a new video. And so you might walk out of there with 10 videos or something, but we can show you in the YouTube video editor how you can quickly assemble those small videos into one video, or you can just choose to use the videos individually. Short videos are always good. But right now I'm going to stop sharing the screen just so we can kind of open it up. It's pretty simple to use, but if anybody's got any questions, I'm happy to field those questions. If you got any comments.
Really looks nice.
Yeah. Where's what?
Mentioned that you can put the clues in the future one.
Oh yeah. I might mention the Yuja video editor always has some nice features similar to Camtasia. If anybody's familiar with that, you can actually insert videos, use a Yuja video, or I'm sorry, insert quizzes into your video using the Yuja video editor. And we can kind of assist you with that and give you some advice on how to use the Yuja. Sure. Anything that you could pull to another monitor, you can do using the Lightboard. So whether a 3D model is movable, it just depends on the software you have to put it in. So I know Microsoft Paint has a new version, Paint 3D, which does have 3D models that are movable. So if you had a model in that Microsoft Paint and you drug Microsoft Paint itself to your Confidence monitor, you could rotate that 3D model right in Microsoft Paint and people would see it. Because they're basically going to see what's ever on your screen. If anybody's familiar with using Snagit or a screen recorder, you set it up to record your screen. So whatever you do on the screen is getting recorded. That's exactly how the Lightboard Studio is working. That Confidence monitor is just another monitor connected to the computer. Whatever you drag there is going to be the student sees. Yeah, Charles, looking at your chat, I suggest you schedule a practice session. Come over here and practice with it. We're happy to give you a tour. Yeah, one of the challenges, and a lot of times we're doing a training, it's like there's so much to talk about. Like, how do you pick the few things that you want to talk about? In the Lightboard training, it's like, wow, it's such a streamlined process. There is not to go into until we just start talking about tips and specifics. But just to make the basic video is very easy. So we're hoping because of this ease of use, we're going to get a lot of instructors using it. Oh, Sherry, you don't need to raise your hand. Just jump out there.
Well, hey, I had a question. So, so for Charles's conundrum, so he makes his 3D rendering on his laptop, and he can save that in any format. But to get the animation, so he saves it as an MP4. Is there any way? I'm confused. How do you get your How do you get your files onto the screen?
So imagine you're just using a multiple monitor setup.
Right.
Where, like, you have something on your first monitor and you want to drag it to your second monitor. That's all you do. You just drag it over.
Right, but how do I bring my files to the Lightboard?
Oh, there's a computer in that room. You just bring a flash drive and plug it into the computer.
Okay, so he could play his animation that he built on his and record his Snagit and save it as an MP4, drop it into whatever, put it on his thumb drive or his computer, and bring that over and show it as he's talking about it. So that's what I was saying.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. If somebody needs special software on that computer, they can talk to us too, and we might be able to do it. Like, if you don't have the modern version of Microsoft Paint that allows you to rotate 3D models right there, but we could probably get that installed for them.
Yeah, but to streamline that process, once you get over there, you should probably already have your presentation kind of planned out rather than, just like you would do for a classroom. You'd already have that kind of done, unless somebody asked a question and said, hey, let me see the bottom of that 3D drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always helps to kind of have a plan of what you're going in there, even if it's a
Yeah.
back of the napkin plan.
Yeah, but and I understand students ask questions, if they're, whatever, but yeah. I like it. All right, bring me one. Bring it over here.
Yeah.
Bring it. Jason's not in here.
Just
I
a
can use it
short
right
trick.
here. Yeah, bring it over here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they do make desktop versions.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now
But,
you're just freaking me out. So I don't want a desktop version. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what's on the other side of my computer.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
well, I like
somebody
that.
mentioned the
Thank you.
height.
Did
Yeah,
Reginald just put that out there? The height of the board is adjustable. Thanks, Reg. Appreciate that. I've got a Coke crate. I can adjust my own height.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a automatic lifts and lower on the thing. There's buttons you can lift and lower automatically.
God, Charles just slashed me too. At least he didn't say anything about the width of the board. Dang, I thought you were my friends. All right. Hey, well, this was a good presentation. I like it. I'm going to check y'all out.
Yeah. Book some time. We'd love to see it get some use and see different disciplines use it.
Okay.
I know I see some programming people here. We're going to put a wireless keyboard and mouse in there. You can always open up something and start typing away while you're right there.
Yeah, that'd be a good application for code as well as you built a project so they can see how you add to it. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
All right. Anybody got any questions? Anything? I'm going to share my screen one more time. One thing I can show you guys is the Idea Center. The Idea Center, just kind of some services distance education offers. But if you would like, we'll send out this poster to you. But it just kind of mentions things we do like consultations if you need to talk to us about Blackboard or different things. If you need any advice on course building or instructional design, whether it's practice activities, test pools, video creation, editing, we're always happy to do a consult with you and talk to you. If you want us to review anything in your courses, give suggestions for improvements or enhancements or what we can do with e-learning to help you out with choke points, all you have to do is book an appointment with us, and we're happy to kind of consult you on that. All right, as Karen mentioned, 8:30 to 3:30. Feel free to book the room.
3:30 is the appointment time, but they can keep it till 4:30.
Right. So the last appointment for that day is 3:30. Oh yeah, and one thing to mention, when you go to that reservation page, when you pick a date, it's only going to show you available times. So if you don't see an available time, it means somebody's already booked it at that time. And feel free to book it for multiple hours. Some of our instructors will book it for half a day. So they have plenty of time to make the videos. So feel free to book for multiple hours as well. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. Right now, I'm going to see if Ashley or Cameron have anything they might want to add about anything going on. Anything? No? Well, then that's a wrap for us. I want to thank everybody for coming out. And I expect everybody to go ahead and schedule a session so you can try it out. And actually, if you tell your colleagues too, tell your colleagues about the Lightboard, tell them where the link is. Even if they didn't attend this meeting, they can just sign up for an appointment. We'll walk them over there and give them the grand tour. stop it.